Arts and Independence District Library Board of Trustees to order at 6:02 p.m. Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jane Gaffney.
Here.
Michelle Ginn.
Here.
Dan Green.
Here.
Mary Himberg.
Here.
Allison McFadden-Kiesling.
Here.
Marilyn Pomeroy absent. Ann Rose.
Here.
Here.
We have an item to add to the agenda. Do I have a motion to add an item to the agenda?
Yes, I move that we add motion number 6 to approve a budget adjustment of $2,500 from line 975 building to line 980 equipment.
Second. Okay. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. We'll have our call to the public.
Okay, Julie Simplowitz reporting for the Friends of the Library. This year we have 9 new members in the Friends, and some of whom participated in the fall book sale, so that was great. Book sale was very successful. We raised over $7,800. We had 50 volunteers who worked. 4 of them were National Honor Society members from Clarkson High School. Those 50 volunteers spent over 300 hours working on the book sale. And that includes setup and cleanup, of course, as well. In addition, we had over 60 teachers spend over $660 on books for their classrooms. This is our 3rd or 4th sale in partnership with the Clarkson Community Schools, where the school district provides up to $20 for each teacher in the district who cares to participate in purchasing books for the classroom. So each sale we've had has gone up. So we're happy with that. We're going to continue that.
It's a win-win.
It is. It really is.
Yes.
The teachers who come are really excited because it's such a bargain. So, speaking of book sales, the holiday book sale will be happening December 2nd and 3rd. This year, we are going to also offer the opportunity to shop for baked goods in the youth activities room. You may recall that the Church of the Resurrection across the street, the Greens Market used to be held there before it moved, and they would always have a bake sale. Well, now the Greens Market is not there. They don't get much business, so Julie invited them to come. And so they'll be here on Saturday only. So if you don't get a chance to do any holiday baking, do come by. And then on Thursday is our general membership meeting. So it's here this Thursday at 7 o'clock. If you've not had a chance yet to see the presentation or the video on the quilt, we'll be doing that as well that night. And that's it.
Lots of exciting things.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're partnering with the schools.
Me too.
And that we've made the offer to the Church of the Resurrection. Any other public that wishes to speak? All right, we'll move on to our consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to discuss on there? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda has been approved. Library statistics.
The statistics are before you. I don't have any commentary this evening. I didn't get a chance to talk to Bill about any specifics if you've noticed, but they are there for your review.
Yeah, I think it's good that we look at these continually throughout the year because they're very, gives us an overall picture, and I know the staff takes them into consideration when they look at programs and that, so I'm glad that we have them. Okay, library director's report.
Okay, for project updates, in preparation for the execution of space planning for the adult computer lab, the adult seating area, and the installation of cabinetry in the meeting room, a number of changes have been made around the library. The copier, scanning station, and public printer have moved to the island near the information desk. Librarians will be able to better help the patrons with these services, and this makes way for future changes in the business area. The facilities company has removed the light fixture above the location where the cabinetry will be installed because the cabinets would block the light and make it difficult to change light bulbs. And library design has sent their installer to make final measurements, and while we are unsure of the exact timing, all of this work is tentatively scheduled for the first week of November. So, still on track to get done by the end of the year. Further project updates, the department heads have begun the process of our annual staff evaluations. These are scheduled to take place each year between September and December, and so far the staff feedback on our new system has been quite positive. Next item, the library staff has been diligently working on a project to overhaul the library's website. From streamlining the tabs to making crucial information accessible in fewer clicks, this project that started early in the year is reaching a point where it can be unveiled to the board and then to the public. A lot of hard work has gone into this project, and I think people will be impressed with these positive changes. This has been, I think it was a bigger undertaking than they realized when they took it on. So it's a huge thing, and there's a lot of information on that site. So I look forward to unveiling it to you.
That'll be exciting.
Very exciting. Collaborations. In collaboration with Clarkson Community Schools, we have begun the promotion and distribution of Pack Pass CIDL cards to the students and faculty. This program has been promoted at North Sashaba Elementary, which is our pilot school to start, and presented to the information technology specialists at each school. We are getting positive feedback and support for this project. And basically what happened is exactly what we anticipated. We started with North Sash, we started talking to the information technologists, and they were like, all right, when is it coming to our school? So we're now rocking and rolling to really get it moving at all of the different school buildings. We're pleased about that. Another collaboration, while it feels too early to be discussing January programs, we recently met with the Historical Society to begin plans for the annual Shiver by the River event in Depot Park. Mark your calendars, as this will take place on Saturday, January 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. and feature ice skating, crafts for the kids, sledding, and outdoor games. And this is something that we collaborate on also with the city and the Optimists and the Garden Club and the Women's Club. This is something that everybody all comes together and just sort of makes it happen. The whole thing is free. It's really a great event. And the Historical Society and the library are the ones who kind of make sure it all happens. So. And then lastly, we are once again collaborating on the Impact Weekend project. This event occurs twice each year, on the last weekend in April and the first weekend in November. With the mission of bringing the entire community together to serve and make a difference in the lives of our neighbors, this event draws approximately 800 volunteers each time to make minor home repairs and rake leaves for seniors, work at the food bank, write letters of thanks to first responders and soldiers, knit hats for preemies and cancer patients, and so much more. So mark your calendar for November 4th and 5th and visit www.impact-weekend.org to sign up for a project. It's my public service.
It's great. Lots of exciting things happening, and lots of things where the community comes together, and that's really important. On to regular business. Our first item on the agenda is a decision regarding Sashwell Road Corridor Improvement Authority. Okay, we will let you present that.
Earlier this year, Township Supervisor Pat Kittle made the library director aware that the Township Board was considering making changes to the Sashwell Road Corridor Improvement Authority, SRCIA. On July 10th, a letter and document regarding the proposed plan arrived at the library. After this initial contact, the library director attended a Township Board meeting in which the proposed changes were reviewed and discussed with the Township Board, and also corresponded with Ann Cernk, the library's attorney, regarding this tax capture. At the July 17th meeting, the library director provided an update about the CIA and the information gathered up to that point. On July 28th, the library received a certified letter announcing that a public hearing about the Sashwell Road Corridor Improvement Authority plan would take place on Tuesday, August 22nd, 2017 at 6 p.m. 2 library board members and the library director attended the hearing. At the September 11th meeting, Township Supervisor Pat Kittle, Township Planner Dick Carlisle, and Township Assessor Kim Bailey presented to the library board regarding the updated SRCIA plan. According to statute, the library board has 60 days from the public hearing to determine if they would like to opt out of this tax capture. Other options include opting in or possible agreements regarding shared revenue with the Corridor Improvement Authority. Once the 60-day window has passed, there is no other opportunity to opt out of this tax capture, which will extend until 2029. However, opting back in or opting in with shared revenue options can happen at any time. It is the recommendation of the library's attorney that the prudent course of action is for the library board to opt out of the Sashbaugh Road Corridor Improvement Authority tax capture at this time.
Is there any discussion on this? Any comments?
I'm inclined to agree that we should take our attorney's advice. I would be interested at some point after all of this to see what that revenue sharing option would look like. But I think that we need to follow legal advice. That's why we pay an attorney. So.
That's a very good point. Anyone else have any questions? Do we have a motion on this proposal?
I move that we approve the resolution to exempt taxes from capture by the Sashbaugh Road Corridor Improvement Authority as presented.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been presented and seconded.
This was a roll call. Janet Gaffney,
Yes.
Michelle Ginn,
Yes.
Dan Green,
Yes.
Mary Himberg,
Yes.
Allison McFadden Giesling,
Yes.
Ann Rose.
Yes.
Okay. The motion passes. The second item on regular business, review distribution plan for the half rebate. And this is for the money that, because of the Affordable Care Act, it has to be returned. Didn't have to pay quite as many bills as what I got. But some of this needs to be returned and it needs to be distributed to some of the employees who also paid into it.
So I'll go over the notes. On September 18th, the library received a letter from HAP informing us that we would be receiving a rebate as part of the requirements of the Affordable Care Act. The library's rebate will total $4,333.57 and must be used toward health care. We also received a rebate last year and propose handling this one in the same way. We will deposit the check into budget line item 716, which is health insurance, to hold the funds until distribution can take place. According to the documentation from HAP, these funds should be distributed based on the division of contributions toward health care premiums. In this case, the employees contribute 20% and the library contributes 80%. So the total amount attributable to the employee contributions is 20% of the rebate, or $866.72. The library portion will be used toward future health care premiums, and the employee portion will be divided and returned to the employees through a one-time reduction of the payroll deduction for health care premiums based on the plan each employee had in 2016. The amount each employee will receive is as follows. Medicare supplement, 1 employee, $37.25. Single person plan, 4 employees, $50.66. 2-person plan, 2 employees, $116.22. And family plan, 3 employees, $131.49. This method provides appropriate documentation that the funds are being used for health care. Since health care premium contributions are pre-tax, this distribution method ensures the funds are returned the same way they were contributed and are subject to appropriate taxes upon return. However, 2 of the employees eligible for this rebate are no longer employed by the library, so they will need to be issued a check with the appropriate payroll taxes deducted. And a letter must be included explaining that these funds must be used toward health care expenses. I've spoken to our accountant regarding the legal requirements for distribution and the necessary documentation for the auditor. My proposal is that this distribution would take place on November 3rd, 2017 payroll.
I do have one question.
Yes.
Regarding the employees who are no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
Is sending them a letter telling them that they have to do that meets all the requirements?
I
Because
actually talked to
obviously,
them personally as well.
yeah, because we obviously can't police that,
Nope.
so.
No.
I actually talked to each of them and said, okay, this is the proposal, and I need you to use this for healthcare, and I could require you to provide documentation back, but the accountant said that she didn't think that was necessary. We made it abundantly clear to those 2 people that that's what it must be used for.
Okay.
That's enough to just require them
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, if for some reason they don't comply, that's,
Well, and it's a
Yeah.
small amount of money, they would each be getting back $50.66.
Right, I knew that it probably wasn't a
Yep.
lot, so
I suspect that.
I was just kind of curious, because that's the first time I've come up against, I mean, I've seen, obviously, you and I have talked about this, I've seen this happen before with those
But we
refunds
didn't
from
have,
health.
everybody was still working here when we did it last year.
Yeah, and
so.
when I've done it
Right.
with the retirement system in Pontiac, everybody was still working there, and so it was not an issue.
Yep,
So I was just curious.
yeah. We went through and I included the notes that came with it, and I highlighted a few things in your packet about it.
Yeah.
And primarily, it seemed to me, it seemed to say, as long as you do your due diligence. I mean, if they were getting a huge refund, I would be more concerned, but I'm sure that just about everybody spends at least $50 a year.
That's
On
what
some
I
sort
was
of health
thinking.
I
care.
mean, it's something else but going to the drugstore and buying, you know,
Exactly.
some aspirin or
Yes.
something.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, because it is a small amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just, like I said, I was
No, I
just
think
curious.
that's a really good question,
It's a good
and I
question.
think the accountant felt that by saying you need to spend this. Now, we could require them, if the board would like me to, I could require them to provide me with $50.66 worth of some sort of,
I don't think that's
Receipt.
necessary.
I don't
think that,
either. I think anybody throughout the year usually spend a bit for.
Yeah, like you say, if it was a large amount of money, then I think we would have to require the documentation,
I
but
think so. One really bad cold, and you could spend that much at the drugstore.
Easily. very easily.
Just buying nighttime versus daytime cold medicine.
That too.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other questions? We have a motion for this.
I move that we approve the distribution plan for the half rebate as presented.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any more comments? All right. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, review and approval of the 2018 employee health care coverage.
Okay.
I was impressed here that the employees themselves were included in this process because.
We've done this all along, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good piece of the process. So each year at this time, we review the health insurance plan that covers the full-time library employees. For the past 2 years, it has been in the best interest of both the employees and the library to simply renew the plan we had, which is why we haven't had a lengthy discussion the last couple of years. All other options would have been more expensive. This year, our agent was able to provide options that could be improvements to coverage as well as providing cost savings for the employees and the library. To this end, the library's Employee Benefits Committee, consisting of Mary Himberg, Allison McFadden-Kiesling, Bill Bowman, Debbie Zielverla, and Julie Meredith, met with the agent to review the pros and cons of renewing the current plan versus switching to the Affordable Care Act plan. Selecting an ACA plan will be required starting in 2019. After reviewing the options, the committee determined that selecting one of the 2 proposed ACA plans, along with the proposed Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement plan for Medicare-eligible employees, would be the best benefit for the employees and the library. While both of these proposed ACA plan options offered significant savings, proposed Plan 1 offered better coverage than proposed Plan 2 for a very small additional cost, while still being significantly cheaper than the current plan. Since the employees also contribute toward their health care premiums through payroll deductions, the committee decided to have the staff members vote on the plan they preferred to see if they would choose the additional coverage or the slightly lower premium. The employees unanimously selected proposed Plan 1. The Employee Benefits Committee recommends HAP proposed Plan 1 and the Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement Plan for the 2018 employee health care coverage. And I can summarize this on the screen to make it a little bit easier to understand so you can see what we've done. I'll do my best to make this a nutshell. We'll see how it goes. It's healthcare. It's only so simple.
I was just thinking
As if they
that.
already could offer this right now.
Yes. Okay.
So it's-
So our current, hang on, there we go. Okay, so the current plan is a half 2,000 PPO. It has a deductible for a single of 2,000, for a family is 4,000. Co-insurance is 20% up to 2,000, 4,000, so that'd be single family. It does not have an out-of-pocket maximum. Office visits are $15 for a standard doctor visit, 30 for a specialist. The urgent care copay is $50, and ER copay is $200. and the prescription is 20, 40, 60, with 20 being generic, 40 being brand name, and 60 being non-preferred brand name. Okay, so this proposed plan is the Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement, and I have a little star here so that you'll notice that the employees can take this plan with them upon separation from the library and simply cover the premium themselves. So to understand what it is we were doing before, we actually were offering, when we first started this plan, we had no Medicare eligible employees. The last 2 years, we've stuck with the plan we had because changing the plan would have been a problem. We had a grandfathered in plan. If we had switched plans, we would have been subject to some very specific requirements of the Affordable Care Act that would have raised our premiums significantly. So we stayed with our grandfather plan. But what that meant was that we were actually using this plan, and there was a specific Medicare supplement rate for our Medicare supplement employees when we did start having those as of last year. Okay, so this is the first year that we've had a chance to look at it, and our agent was recommending a Senior's Choice Medicare supplement because there's a lot of coverage in this plan that a Medicare eligible employee would not even need. So we were,
Parts A
because
and B,
because
yeah.
parts A and B cover so much of it. So by switching to a new HAP plan for all of the other employees, releases us from the current plan and opens it up for this particular plan. So the thing that you need to notice about this is that for a Medicare eligible employee, the monthly premium was $513.40. Using this plan, it's better coverage to them. You can see it's a lower deductible and it eliminates a lot of pieces they don't need, and it's only $253.14. So much, much less expensive, half price. Any questions about that? That one's pretty easy. Okay. So now let's go on to the employee health care plan for the non-Medicare eligible employees. So as I said, this is the plan that we currently have. The monthly premium is currently $11,156.94 for the employees that we are covering. Proposed plan number 1 is a HAP 1200 Gold PPO. It has a deductible of $1,200 for single, $24 for family. The co-insurance is 0, as we are currently doing 20%. There is an out-of-pocket max, which is a nice feature to add. The office visits are slightly more expensive. The urgent care is slightly more expensive. ER is the same. There's less for generic, the same for preferred brand, and then for this non-preferred name brand, there's a 50% and 50%. And this is why we wanted the employees to have a chance to vote, because they needed to look at their specific situations and figure out if they were willing to switch to this plan, which was going to save everybody money, and shed this co-insurance and have this out-of-pocket max in there, but then there were some pieces here that could potentially be more. So what we did was we had the agent come in and talk to all the employees, explain the whole situation, tell them how much it would be for each of them in their payroll deduction, and then they had a week and a half when they could contact the agent directly and ask specific questions about prescriptions and that kind of thing. Plus, they could go onto the website and find out how much their prescriptions would actually cost using this plan versus this plan. And there actually was a second proposal as well, but this is the one that was voted on. So you can see that the cost, monthly premium is $11,156.94. The monthly premium for the employees would be $7,766.28, huge savings. So this is the plan that was voted and approved unanimously by the staff. Any questions about that? Okay, so let's do a quick summary. This is the Employee Benefits Committee recommendation that we go with this Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement. We have 2 employees that would be on that. The total would be $506.28. The HAP proposed Plan 1, we have 7 employees that would be on that. It would be $7,260 approximately. The total estimated monthly premium for the entire staff would be $7,766.28. The current monthly premium for 2017, which is what we're currently paying, is $11,156.94. If we were to just simply renew this plan, which I had to write the budget assuming that's what we were going to do because we didn't have all this information yet. We actually budgeted $11,810 per month because that would accommodate a 7% increase, which is what we were told to anticipate on the plan that we already had. So the estimated monthly savings in 2018 from what we are currently paying to this it would be $4,043.72. So where does all the savings come from? Well, the first thing is that this is the ACA plans are switching to an age-rated plan, and this will be a required change in 2019. That means that younger people who are being covered are less expensive and older people who are being covered are more expensive. We tend to have a fairly young staff, and those that are a little bit further on the other end, we corrected that by finding them a better Medicare supplement plan. So switching to this specific supplement plan is where the rest of that savings comes from. And then just to make sure that people understand, there's a fine print at the bottom, and if I realized it looked a small on screen, I would have made it bigger. These are total monthly costs. And the library does adhere to PA 152, in which employer-employee health care premium contributions are shared 80%, 20%, with employees making their contributions through pre-tax payroll deductions. So that $4,043.72 obviously would be savings overall, including the library's employees' reductions in their payroll deductions.
But essentially 80% of the savings are
Is
ours
ours.
because 80% of the premium.
Precisely. Okay, you've all done your homework, I can tell. Any questions? Okay.
So lots to think about when you're getting a health insurance plan. Especially when you're first going Medicare, which is supplemental plan.
I know that's always tricky because it's very different for everybody.
I'd like to thank the committee that did a lot of work on this also. It's very appreciated. And all the employees that took the time to meet and help make their own decision. Do we have any more discussion on this? Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the CAP proposed Plan 1 and the Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement Plan as presented and authorize the library director to sign the paperwork on behalf of the library.
I'll second.
That moved and seconded. Any further questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. We have proposed Plan 1, Senior's Choice Medicare Supplement. Next on our agenda is, the item has actually changed a little bit since we got our packet and everything. Yeah, we need some possible approval, final approval of the snowplow contract for this year, which we all hope, well, maybe we don't all hope, but some of us hope that we don't have to use them on.
Most of
But
us
no,
hope we
snow
don't have to.
enthusiasts, so maybe not. So, anyways, Julie, you want to present that?
Certainly. At the August meeting, the library board approved an RFP for snowplowing service for the 2017-2018 season. Using the local chambers of commerce, a search of local contractors, and recommendations from other organizations, the RFP was emailed to 10 vendors and posted on the library's website. 5 submissions were received, but one of them arrived the day after the deadline and is included for added price comparison. Dale Graves is the library's current contractor, with the contract expiring on October 31st, 2017. The lowest bid is Lawn Compliance Landscaping LLC, based in Waterford. At the time that the packet was put together, they had not yet provided proof of insurance, and I contacted them about that, and they emailed me back and pulled out. They pulled their bid. So they are no longer interested in being part of that. So, so the next lowest bid, and I can put it up on the screen if you like, the next lowest bid would be Michigan Outdoor Service, except their bid came in a day late. Where'd she go?
Oh my God.
Yes, their bid came in a day late, and then that makes Dale Graves our low bid, and he's our current contractor.
We've been here with our current.
We've had, he had another contract last year that pulled him away from us a little bit, and I did talk to him about that this year, and he assured me that that will not happen this year, that he is dedicated to our service. So I was a little concerned. But he is assuring me that he's going to give 100% just like he always does. So,
Do you think that that's a good direction for us?
well, he's the low bid, so
To me, low bid isn't always necessarily the way to go. I don't know these people, though. I don't know anything about them except.
He's the only one we know.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I think he had a rough winter last year, and when I sat down and talked to him this year, he seemed to be more grounded, more prepared to, I know he had some issues with family last year and some other things. I don't want to discuss too much of this, obviously, in an open meeting, but I know he was really stressed last year, and when I sat down and talked to him this year, he came in and hand-delivered his bid, knowing that we were bidding it out, and wanting to address the fact that I had some concerns last year, so.
That shows concern right there.
Yeah, it was my only hand-delivered bid, so.
Well, I think that, assuming that the problem from last year has been resolved and that he is the lowest compliant bidder,
The 3 years prior,
Yeah.
he gave more than 100%.
Right.
He did, it was just
So-
last year.
That's a lot.
So, and the other two bids are substantially higher. I think that it's prudent to give him the opportunity. We can always, should he prove not to be up to the task, we can certainly bid it out again next year and take that into consideration. But I would move that we accept the lowest compliant bidder and award the contract to Dale Graves.
Does that follow all legal requirements?
Mhm.
Okay,
It does.
good, all right. Was that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay. We've had a motion and seconded to award the snowplow contract to Dale Graves. Are there any more questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will award the snowplow contract to Dale Graves. I hope he doesn't have to use it very much. Next on our agenda, approval of the updated circulation policy and damage and loss material recovery charges policy. And this also included taking care of some of our maker kit rentals or those people that borrow those, the care of them.
So for the circulation policy, as a library, we've embraced a mission statement that promotes lifelong learning. Our current circulation policy limits the issuing of library cards to individuals ages 5 and above. In the past, this was common practice, recognizing that getting a library card is a milestone for a child. However, with the development of early literacy programs such as our own baby story times and the early 5 classes at Clarkston Community Schools, we feel this age limit is now counterintuitive to our mission. The proposed updated circulation policy would remove this limitation. Essentially what we were running into is the early 5s aren't 5 yet. And it was causing a problem, and we were basically violating our own policy to issue cards to these children because those are the kids that were walking over here every single Friday for story time and to check out books.
And they're not with their parents who
And
would
they're not
have
with
the
their
library card
parents,
yet.
and so we were having to kind of figure out a way to go around our own policy. So Annette Cheney, who was our new head of circulation, said, why are we doing this? Why don't we just ask the board to change the policy? So here I am with the next request to change the policy so we're not violating our own policy.
Which makes sense. I do have a question on that.
Yes.
If we're, a 4-year-old has a library card,
Mhm.
and we're checking materials out in the 4-year-old's name, do the parents have any responsibility here?
They do.
If we just
They
issue
do.
the card?
By law, they are financially responsible for any debt. So,
That's true.
yep.
So 4-year-olds
Okay.
cannot go around running up that hill.
No.
So basically, one day, the parents come to pick them up and they have a library card.
Yeah.
They've never really had the parents sign and say, anything ahead
When
of
we
time.
issue them to the kids through the Early Fives program, that is actually an application with a signature on it.
Okay.
And at any other time, they would be coming into the library and the parent or legal guardian would need to apply for that card and show their own ID. So that's how we,
So it's through the.
yep, we have
Okay.
procedurally come up with a way to make sure that children that are under the age of 5 are still getting that parent signature. And it's very clear on there why it is we're asking for the signature. You are financially responsible for the materials that are there. So.
Okay. I think it's exciting, and now that, right, we're legal all the way around.
Yeah. And our procedure also requires that the child be present when the card, when we do in library. if the child is actually present. So a parent can't come in and just get a card for a 4-year-old, they have to have the child there.
Right, they have to have the child there.
It does verify the existence of the child, believe it or not. We have had people try to open cards for accounts for children that don't actually exist. So we do require a child to be present.
Okay, that never even occurred to me, so.
It didn't occur to us either until we discovered it had happened, so.
Okay, so
The maker
We gotta
I'm
kits,
sure there's a story behind
the
that.
maker kits would be different, Val?
So that's the next piece. The next
Okay.
piece is the damage loss material recovery charges. And basically, this is the policy by which we set how much it costs to replace different things. So the library has added maker kits as a circulating collection, but the current policy does not include a price for the replacement cost of the case itself. So basically what this means is, this list is, if you lose an item and there's some sort of piece that goes with it, like if you lose a DVD, we charge you for the locking case because that costs the library money. That's not a standard case that came with it. We put a specialty case on it and we charge for that. In this particular case, the maker kit is in a special box, and the cost for us to replace that box is $10. And to be perfectly honest, it did not occur to us that this was going to be a problem until somebody broke the case.
Oh.
So we realized that we were not properly documented for the replacement cost of that. So we are coming to you to ask for that to be added to the policy. So
That makes sense.
it was an oversight on our part. We actually thought that the cases were strong enough that that wasn't possible, but it's not the case. So they're not as indestructible as we thought.
Okay, well, do we have any more discussion on this? Do we have a motion to approve or the updated circulation?
I move to approve the updated circulation policy and damaged and lost material recovery charges policy is presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the updated circulation policy and damage and lost material recovery charges policy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And now we have one item added to our agenda. Budget adjustment for the computer replacement.
And this comes from Bill Bowman, our IT manager. The library has a 3-year technology plan. During the economic downturn, funding issues prevented us from being able to maintain the structured replacement cycle. In recent years, we've been working on getting this plan back on track. To continue the planned upgrades in 2017, there are 3 computers on the 2017 technology plan that still need to be replaced. Early in the year, an unplanned but necessary upgrade to the RFID pads in the circulation department used the monies that were planned for this upgrade. So Bill is asking for $2,500 to be moved into line 980 to allow the purchase of the remaining 3 computers that need replacement in 2017 as dictated by the technology plan. So the part that I added in here is the source of funding. Phase 3 of the parking lot reconstruction came in well under budget. We still don't have the final numbers on that, but we're looking at probably $15,000 to $20,000 under budget. So I would recommend that the funds for these important upgrades be taken from line 975, which is the building budget.
That would make sense. And we want to get this computer project finished
Yes.
before the end of the year.
I move that we approve a budget adjustment of $2,500 from line 975 building to line 960 equipment.
980.
980.
980, I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
The motion has been moved and seconded to approve a budget adjustment of $2,500 from building to equipment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. All right, that concludes our business this evening.
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been
You look
moved and
straight at
seconded.
That's your job, Dan. We always
Waiting for
You never know what to do if you're not
The meeting is adjourned at 5:30.
No, we didn't know.
Or 6:38.
All in favor?
We really did, we went back.